listen, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you commenting and talking back with us. We want you to look at a little bit of one of our other shows. Let's Talk Football, Ladies Takeover. And just know, if you talk about my team, I'm coming.
Oh, God.
That's a great thing. That's actually a great thing that you guys can possibly tie it up. Have a 3-3. I really want the Washington Commanders to have a 1-5.
Josh, you know what? Blasphemy will stop now. I will not allow any Let's Talk Football production to have this blasphemy smoking. It is 0-0. We are in this thing.
In the room.
Today, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've told you, Janae, the race is not given to the swift. Nor the battle to the strong, but to those that endure. We're coming.
I have to let you in on there. Don't have to let you in.
You did that wrestling. You did that wrestling style.
Come on now.
You pop in right at the direct moment.
Yeah, buddy. That was Let's Talk About Ladies Takeover. It's trying to talk about my Washington Commanders. I will talk about my team. I don't need your help, Janae. I love you dearly. Let's go. Those are Thursday nights at 7:30. Janae Strother, Kate Alverson, Delilah Crespo, Ash Swinton. Definitely tune into them. They have great things, great topics on there, and always leave you with a little tidbit, something you might not have known before. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we are at week 7, almost towards the middle of the season, getting closer to that at least. And I know it's very early, but we still got to do this. MVP talk. Best player on the team, the best player in the league overall. We're going to give our top 3 picks. I'm going to go ahead and go first, and I'm going to go from 3 to 1. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. I understand that the W's might not be coming, but at the same time, he is putting, he had to deal with teams that have been coming back and playing good ball. He has still been playing balls to the wall. And even though, a lot of people are talking contract, a lot of people saying this and that, he's still up there as one of these guys that you're saying, if I have him, I can build around that. He is doing his thing. I've got to give it to Lamar as number 1. My number 2, we already know a lot of people have picked these guys to go to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, almost 2,000 yards in the air, only 4 interceptions, 17 touchdowns, and has over 250 on the ground. I love what he's doing. He is a leader of that team. If you take him out, they are definitely not the same team without him. And my number 1 right now, MVP candidate, I hate to say it because I'm a Washington Commander, but at the same time, it's Jalen Hurts, man. The way that he is playing right now, he is just playing. He's leading that team. He has them driven, and he's not having to do it all on his legs. He has just under 300 yards, but he's been able to do it in a passing attack. 6 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He's getting the job done, and he's looking good with them. He's leading them, and he's leading a solid, stout team. But he's been everything that he's come up against, he's been able to kind of keep it moving. And all the hate and all the kind of the detractors that talked about him before are kind of quiet right now. So Jalen Hurts is my number 1. Again, my 3 at the moment. Got to go, like I said, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, Josh Allen of the Bills, and Jalen Hurts of the Eagles. Nick, I'm going to come to you next. Who are your top 3 right now for the MVP talk?
Well, it's a young man's game, right? As they say, and I think it's no surprise that in terms of top 3 right now, they're all quarterbacks. Like, that's the way the NFL is structured, right? You live and die by your quarterback these days. So it stands. And again, my thing is, I'm kind of glad we're not talking about Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers at this point for MVP candidates. Yeah. Like, they're not having very good years, as it were, some of these older gentlemen. But that's a different, right? Well, they're not on the list. And anybody who puts them on the list is delusional. Sorry. For all you Rodgers and Brady fans, don't be delusional. they're not having very good years. But yeah, I mean, I gotta go. Mahomes is still, Kansas City still, and he's doing it with a plethora of receivers and guys. He's getting the ball to everyone. Like everyone's got touches in that offense. Like, what do you do? And you got Travis Kelce still, so makes you look good when you throw 4 touchdowns to a tight end, right? Who doesn't love that? But again, so he'd be 3, I think. 2, 2 and 1. Really, I go back and forth, but then I think about what does it MVP, most valuable player, and yes, Josh Allen is for his team. Yes, he's definitely one of the, but Buffalo does have other things that make them good, like their defense and Stephon Diggs and that sort of thing. So as long, and again, not taking away from John, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying though, what do you think about MVP? And as you were talking about, Sean, I agree with you. Right now, I think Jalen Hurts has to be the front runner. If for no other reason, he's been the most valuable player on his team because the defense has struggled at times, but he's been able to keep them in every game, and they've scored enough to win in every game. Yeah. He's managing the game. He's getting it to Devontae Smith. You get it to A.J. Brown. They're doing everything they can to win. And whether you like Philadelphia or not, they're 6-0, baby. And right now, we're talking, like I said, week 7. I got to go with Jalen Hurts as number 1 right now, Josh Allen, and then Patrick Mahomes for me. So
I like that. Nate, what you thinking, man?
Well, I'm doing a different. So I have 5, not 3.
Oh, we've got 5.
I'll just stick with 3. So number 3, I actually moved him to number 3, Lamar Jackson. Even though I think he's because it's more about what's around him and how they're using what's around him. I think it's more frustrating. I think he's putting too much pressure on his shoulders. He's shown that I think he can win games, but if the others around him are not effective and they're not being used, you kind of see him struggle. So I that's just how I've been seeing it, especially these 3 games where we've blown leads. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. I got to give him credit because I mean their offense, even though it was without Tyreek Hill, they really like to really emphasize. Well, they don't have Tyreek Hill, but you're filling it with guys like Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster. You still have your number 1 tight end in Travis Kelce. Your offense to me is still quite effective. And it's not like the offense fell off completely. Patrick Mahomes is still going to do Patrick Mahomes things. And then number 1, Jalen Hurts, is without a shadow of a doubt. From last year, everybody was on this wagon of the Eagles need to move on from him. He can't throw the football when he really didn't have nothing really to work with. Now you've put a lot around him. Now you see the ball. The offense is more spread. And he is shown to take over games. I mean, I just watched them just beat those that team in Dallas. It's just the leadership, and it's just what he's doing for his team. Like they're 6-0 for a reason, and I believe and he is the reason. Like if you take Jalen Hurts off that team, what are the Eagles? So I think he's definitely an integral part of our offense. Honorable mention. I had Cooper Kupp at number 4 and Josh Allen. I'm sorry, Josh Allen number 4 and Cooper Kupp at 5.
I can dig it. Well, look, hey Nate, I'm gonna come right back to you because you alluded to exactly where I was gonna go next. Thank you, sir. The dark horse. Who are the guys that we may not think, the media will give all the credit to, but like Nick said, the MVP is not just somebody who has all the highest stats, as somebody that if you took them off that team would be the 100% opposite without that player. So talk to me. Who are some of your dark horses for the MVP?
I put Austin Eckler on this list.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Even though Keenan Allen hasn't been there, Austin Eckler, he has definitely been a staple on that run game for Los Angeles. He is the truth. I mean, he has had a touchdown in pretty much pretty much the first 6 games. Like, it's just something like if you take him off that Charger team, other than Mike Williams, they don't really have much of an offense. I just think that that's someone that I have as a dark horse MVP because he's just building off the success. Number two, I'm gonna say Joe Burrow. I think he's kind of started to wipe I think the ice has starting to defrost. I just think it was just the Bengals just having a slow start. The injuries to the offensive line. And then I mean total offensive line, so it's basically they're still kind of adjusting. And then I was a toss up. I just had three. I said just it's a tie between you had it all here as well. Kirk Cousins and Justin Herbert. It's a two-way tie. So
yeah, I got it, Nick, and I'm gonna come to you. Me personally, I got to throw Kurt in there. I got to throw Kurt in there because, like he said, last year he was having a stellar year. This year he can get the numbers. That's what he can do. Winning the games is something completely different. But that team, he is definitely spearheaded by him. Now with that, and I think an equal, if not greater, piece to that puzzle is the fact that he has Justin Jefferson, who has put himself up as one of the top 3 wide receivers. Who, if you're not a Kirk Cousins fan, makes him all the more better because it's like you're getting it from Kirk Cousins, and those of us who know the pain of Kirk Cousins. All right. So those are my two staying in Minnesota. But who are your dark horse MVPs?
Well, as you know, I'm an old school kind of football guy. We've had this conversation. I like defense and running the ball and pounding it down someone's throat personally. But hey, the new look offense in the NFL is not bad to watch either. But for me, MVP doesn't always go to a defensive player. But if you're talking dark horse, I like what Micah Parsons is doing in Dallas. The guy is a beast. He changes games. He's always there. Every game they've played, and again, love you, Ash. I'm not particularly a Cowboy fan, but I have caught some games this year, and that kid is just all over the place.
Yeah.
When you talk about most valuable player to a team, I mean, you made Cooper Rush look like an all-star by keeping them in games and him managing the game. You know what I'm saying? That defense is the reason that Cooper Rush is probably 4-0 as a starter.
Right.
Just being honest. But yeah, I mean, if they were going to give it to a defensive player, I like Micah Parsons right now. I'm telling you, that kid is very valuable to that team, and part of the reason they're winning, he's a big part of that, my friend. So that would be a dark horse for me. Again, obviously on the offensive side, which is where this award normally goes to. Yeah, I mean, it's probably maybe Lamar Jackson, depending on how Baltimore goes the rest of the year. Like I said, a receiver. I mean, there's. Jefferson, obviously, like you said, makes Cousins look better. But I'm going to stick with Micah Parsons as the dark horse because if that kid continues to have the year that he's having, it might be hard to overlook him at the end of the year. But again, defensive players don't really win that often, so I'm not holding my breath. But I'm going to go with Micah Parsons.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we have comments to what our guests think. Anthony said, my MVP is State Farm. Limu, the Emu, and Doug, and Mayhem. Kate said, you make me smile. Ben said, Limu and Doug, I got no. Yeah.
Jeez. I think Mayhem is the best one out of all those.
That's what Anthony said.
Mayhem is the best. Mayhem is the best, bro. Come on. That guy, but just the actor sells it so well. Like those Mayhem commercials are the best, aren't they? Like they're just phenomenal.
You do have a point. But real right here, if he doesn't get MVP, Michael's get defensive.
Yeah, agreed. He probably will. If he continues like this, he should definitely be the defensive player of the year. Agreed.
But again, MVP stays near where it is. Yeah,
without him. Exactly. Agreed.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.